everyone. Good morning. I wanted to hop on for a short minute. I don't have a full video for us today, but I am saying yes to a challenge by another vlogger. She said, why don't you take 21 days and video every single day? Now, as you know, I'm the parson's wife or the pastor's wife. I can't exactly video on Sunday morning, but I can sure try to video Monday through Saturday every single morning to kickstart this channel. As you know, I'm very new at this, and I'm sure I'm going to have flub-ups along the way. But this morning, I just wanted to share a little bit that is so important to me, and that is the oil that you cook with. Some of you are seeing that I have this in my hand, though. This is not the oil. This is a phenomenal calendar that I found at Walmart. It's a weekly planner, and something that I found so incredible about this, you know, a lot of times I am a calendar girl. Back when I was in banking, I had 7 calendars running at the same time. I was in banking, I directed community dramas, sometimes with a cast of 45 plus. And so I would have a calendar for that. I would have a calendar for banking. I was getting my master's, and so I would have a calendar there. And I was also an assistant pastor's wife, or I think we were youth leaders at that time. And so I had a calendar for that. And then I managed the main church calendar. And so I just had all of these calendars. And thankfully now it's a little bit less hectic, not much, but a little bit. But something that I thought was incredible, because I am a paper person. I don't necessarily like digital calendars. Some of you do. There are some great ones. I use Plan to Eat. Plan to Eat is a meal planning calendar app. Now that I do use, it is awesome, and I will feature it on the channel eventually. But as far as my day-to-day, I like to handwrite it, and it drives me nuts because if something comes up in your day and it messes up what you planned on working on, you have all these scribbles, because I like pens and not pencils, and just, it winds up a mess. Well, something I love about this weekly planner, sorry, I can't get my words together, is it shows 1 week at a time, and it's not dated. So if you absolutely make a complete mess and you're thinking, I have got to completely reschedule my week, you can actually tear it off and just start over. Now, I know there's not a lot of space on this, and back when I was in banking and grad school, that would have driven me crazy. So if you're doing something like that, you're probably going to need a bit more, like a Franklin Covey planner, which is what I used to use. However, I have noticed I have a horrible tendency to overbook myself. And I will have about 3 days worth of work listed for a single day. And I feel so beat up and so beat down by the end of the day because I couldn't accomplish all of it. And then I will look back weeks later and think, oh my goodness, I accomplished so much that day, but I didn't give myself credit for it. And so that's something else I like about this calendar, is you can only fit so many tasks in that little spot. And they're short, it's not a place to write a book. But anyway, I am loving this. Anyway, back to our topic today is the oil that you cook with. And in recent years, I have discovered, I was a girl, I grew up in a household that cooked with Crisco and with canola oil. And that was the thing. You made fried chicken with Crisco. You made red velvet cake with Crisco. And I mean a lot of Crisco. I mean, you had the whole tub of Crisco in that cake. And the cake tasted wonderful. Until I discovered where Crisco came from. Crisco actually is a byproduct back in World War II, when you had your submarines that they used in warfare. They had to have some kind of petroleum product to oil the gears to make things work. Well, in creating this oil for the gears, there was left this sludge. And that sludge, the company didn't want to waste, because in corporate America, of course, waste not, want not. You don't waste anything. You make use for it. And what they did is they remarketed that sludge from the oils that were chemically produced. These are chemical oils. They're not even naturally created. They would use that sludge, and they started to market it for cooking, because they found that, you could cook food in it, you could actually make it taste good. And when I discovered that my favorite red cake was made with the sludge from submarine oil, and not any of it, none of it is naturally occurring. It is all chemical, and it also is linked to the clogging of your arteries. That's where we're getting that from. I was devastated, and so I started making my red velvet cakes with butter. And butter, as long as it is from grass-fed cows and their milk, and as long as it is sourced correctly and it's good butter, that's okay. Now, I'm not advocating you eat red cake every day. Don't do that. I wouldn't even do that. But for holidays, what we make instead of my favorite red cake, that was always my favorite growing up, instead we make butter cake. We just call it butter cake because it tastes so much better. But so butter is a much healthier alternative to Crisco. You can actually measure it the same. So if you need a cup of Crisco for an old recipe, part of that campaign trying to push Crisco is they would give out free cookbooks to the grocery stores to hand out to people. And people started to go, hey, I've got a new cookbook. I want to try this new recipe. Ooh, it needs Crisco, this new product. And they would get hooked on that product. So if you have a recipe, one of those old recipes that calls for Crisco, you can measure it out exactly the same with butter, and it should work pretty well. The only thing is sometimes it doesn't hold together as well, and you need a little bit of cream of tartar put in. And that helps it to hold together. Otherwise, you might have a cake that just kind of, slumps. But cream of tartar is also naturally occurring, and you can use that. As far as cooking, when it comes to salads or low heat cooking, I like to use olive oil. You don't want to use canola oil. That is a seed oil, and it is produced through a chemical process. You are not, have you ever taken a seed? Have you ever been able to squeeze a seed and get oil out of it? No, because that's not normal. You can get oil out of an olive. You can press an olive and get oil. Canola oil and these different seed oils are very unhealthy because they're chemically produced. Anything that is chemically produced that you can't produce yourself in your kitchen with the proper know-how. I understand not everybody knows how, but if you can't produce it in your kitchen with proper know-how, let me tell you something. It's dangerous for your body. Your body cannot assimilate it. It can't process it. So seed oils and then canola oil, this corn oil, it's not healthy, the chemical processes that it goes through. We'll go into it a little bit more on the channel, but this morning I'm trying to keep us to just about 5 to 10 minutes. But instead of canola oil or seed oil, what I do is if it's low heat or if it's a salad dressing that I'm making, I use olive oil. Olive is from pressed olives, and you want to use cold pressed olives. Okay. If it's hotter cooking, like frying, I am Southern. Yes, I believe in healthy cooking, but I'm talking healthy as in I don't want bioengineered products. I don't want a bunch of antibiotics and genetically modified meats in my meals. I don't want that. So yes, I am Southern. I am from Texas, and I love fried food. I like fried chicken. I like fried pork chops. So how do you do that in a healthy way? Well, you could fry it in butter, but butter for me tends to brown very quickly in high heat, and it's going to turn your chicken and your breading really dark, and it doesn't taste as good. What I use is avocado oil. Avocado oil is not a seed oil. It's actually pressed from the flesh of the avocados. And avocado oil you can cook with at high heat, and it is safe. So there's your tip today. There's your calendar tip and your oil tip. All right. And I hope you have a great day. That's my video this morning. I understand it is not gorgeous. I'm sorry, it's a lot of talking head. I'll try to put a little B-roll in. We'll see. I am still learning how to edit videos, but I will get better. And I'll tell you, we don't make our dreams happen by sitting and waiting till we're perfect to jump in. We make our dreams happen by jumping in and learning on the go. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you guys have a great day.